Hey Dave, I really think you need to change your study strategy before it starts affecting your grades. Memorizing answers might help in the short term, but it won't prepare you for application based questions. Instead, you should focus on understanding the core concepts behind each topic. Try to ask yourself why and how questions rather than just what. I would suggest reviewing your notes and then explaining the concept out loud in your own words, as if you were teaching someone else. If you can't explain it clearly, that means you need to revisit it. You should also practice solving different types of problems, especially ones that require critical thinking instead of repeating the same examples. Another important thing is to stop relying on model answers. Use them only as references after you attempt questions independently. Finally, consider studying with a friend or asking your teacher for clarification when something is unclear. Understanding takes more effort, but it will give you confidence and much better results in the long run. One time I felt truly proud was when I improved my English speaking skills and achieved a high score on an important language exam. A few years ago, I struggled with fluency and often felt nervous while speaking in public. Instead of giving up, I created a strict study plan and practiced every single day. I recorded myself, analyzed my mistakes, and focused on understanding grammar rules and sentence structure. After months of consistent effort, I finally received a score that exceeded my expectations. This accomplishment was meaningful because it proved that discipline and persistence really pay off. It wasn't just about the score. It was about personal growth. I felt confident, relieved, and incredibly motivated to set even bigger goals for myself. In this picture, I can see a busy biology lab where several students are conducting experiments. In the foreground, a boy and a girl are arguing while holding a microscope. They both look frustrated, and it seems like they disagree about how to use it properly. The girl appears to be pulling it toward her, while the boy is trying to adjust the focus. On the table in front of them, there is a dissected frog, some lab tools, and an open textbook, which suggests they are working on a practical assignment. In the background, other students are calmly using microscopes and writing notes. A teacher wearing a lab coat is walking toward the arguing pair with a concerned expression, possibly to resolve the conflict. Overall, the scene looks active, but slightly tense due to the disagreement. I think the teacher will most likely step in and calmly separate the two students before the situation escalates further. Since they are both pulling on the microscope, there is a risk that it could fall and break, which would be expensive and dangerous. The teacher appears concerned and is already approaching them, so he will probably ask them to stop arguing and remind them to cooperate. After that, I believe he may assign them specific roles, such as one student adjusting the microscope while the other records observations. This would help them work more efficiently and reduce conflict. The other students in the lab seem focused, so the teacher will likely want to restore a quiet and productive environment. Overall, I expect the disagreement to be resolved quickly with the teacher's guidance. Hi, Ben. I understand why you prefer a full time job because it offers stability and benefits. However, I genuinely believe freelance work is a better option, especially at this stage of our careers. First of all, freelancing gives you complete control over your schedule. You can choose when and where you work, which creates a much healthier work life balance. Secondly, you're not limited to a fixed salary. With freelancing, your income directly reflects your skills and effort, so there's real potential to earn more over time. In addition, you can select projects that truly interest you, which keeps you motivated and constantly learning. While full-time jobs offer security, freelancing provides flexibility, independence, and unlimited growth. In today's digital world, that freedom can be far more valuable than a predictable paycheck. Hey, sweetheart, I understand that you're feeling unhappy at your current school, and I really appreciate you being honest with me about it. However, switching schools in the middle of the academic year could disrupt your studies and make it harder to adjust socially. You've already built relationships with your teachers and classmates, and starting over now might be stressful. Instead of making a quick decision, let's talk about what specifically is bothering you. If it's academic pressure or friendships, we can look for solutions together, such as meeting with a counselor or speaking to your teachers. I want you to feel supported, but I also want to make sure we make a thoughtful decision that protects your long-term success and well-being. In my opinion, students should be required to wear school uniforms because they promote equality and reduce unnecessary distractions. First of all, uniforms minimize visible socioeconomic differences. When everyone dresses the same, students are less likely to judge one another based on expensive brands or fashionable clothing. This can reduce peer pressure and bullying, creating a more inclusive and supportive learning environment. Secondly, uniforms help students focus more on academics rather than appearance. If students spend less time deciding what to wear, they can concentrate more on their studies and school responsibilities. Uniforms also foster a sense of belonging and school pride. When students wear the same attire, they may feel more connected to their institution and develop a stronger sense of identity. Of course, some people argue that uniforms limit self-expression. However, students can still express their individuality through extracurricular activities, hobbies, and personal achievements. Overall, I believe the benefits of school uniforms outweigh the drawbacks, especially in maintaining discipline and unity. Hi, Dan. You won't believe what I'm seeing right now on this city bus. It's divided into two sections, a talking zone and a quiet zone. In the talking zone, people are chatting freely. I can see a group of friends laughing and having animated conversations, and even someone speaking on the phone without worrying about disturbing others. The atmosphere feels lively and social. On the other side, in the quiet zone, everything is calm and peaceful. Passengers are wearing headphones, reading books, or working on their laptops. No one is speaking, and it feels very relaxed and focused. Personally, I think I'd prefer the quiet zone so I could read or rest comfortably. Which section would you choose, and why?